These are some of my neighbors. They have graciously agreed to come to my home and view my speech. So I will get started. Okay. Oops, wrong slide. I'd like to begin by thanking you all for coming. Today, I want to talk to you about something that we use every day: electricity. Electricity plays a vital role in our day-to-day lives. Just look around this room and you'll see electric lighting and air conditioning. In our homes, we keep TVs, computers, and video games, and on our persons, we have cell phones and iPods. We even harness electricity to cook our meals. To put it simply, we need electricity, and our needs are constantly growing. Satisfying these demands is one of the primary concerns of our government. Millions of dollars are spent each year to maximize and streamline our nation's energy production. Yet one of the most efficient sources available to us, nuclear energy, is often ignored and even looked down upon. There is a widely held belief that nuclear energy is unsafe and unclean, especially with the recent disaster in Japan fresh in our memories. This view is misguided, however, and the fact remains that not only is nuclear energy a safe and clean method for producing energy, it is the only truly sustainable alternative to fossil fuels. One of the most common misconceptions about nuclear energy is that it is extremely hazardous to the environment. But this is simply not the case. During daily operations, the only byproduct of nuclear power is water vapor. The plants produce no direct emissions whatsoever. Most people's concerns lie instead with the radioactive wastes the plants produce. What do you picture when I say radioactive waste? Probably some lime green sludge being poured into orange oil drums and dumped in a landfill. Indeed, this is the dramatization commonly found in cartoons and comic books. In reality, however, radioactive waste is a lot less dangerous. What's more, the amount produced by plants is very easy to manage. According to the Environmental Protection Agency, the uranium in a standard nuclear reactor only needs to be replaced every 18 to 24 months. When it is replaced, the spent uranium is stored in secure, lead-lined cooling vats. It's within the plant itself, not dumped into the environment as many believe. When the uranium has been sufficiently cooled, it is moved into secure vaults where it can be stored safely and indefinitely. While this uranium can remain mildly hazardous for thousands of years, as long as we are willing to make the investment to store it safely, it will pose no threat to the environment. Compared to the burning of fossil fuels, which actively release toxins into the environment, nuclear energy is a much cleaner and greener alternative. However, not everyone is concerned with nuclear energy's possible effect on the environment. Many people are worried that nuclear power plants could cause irreparable damage to surrounding communities should they melt down. These worries are, luckily, largely unfounded. According to the Nuclear Energy Institute, there are over 430 active nuclear power plants worldwide, which have logged a cumulative total of over 14,000 years of reaction time. In all that time, there have only been 3 commercial accidents involving the meltdown of a nuclear reactor: 3 Mile Island, Chernobyl, and Fukushima. The first of these was contained with almost no damage to the surrounding community. The second, unfortunately, lost large amounts of radiation to the surrounding environment, and no attempts were made at containment. Finally, the disaster at Fukushima severely tested the safety and containment methods on an aging plant, allowing for the escape of a small dose of radiation. Despite the radiation leakage from these last 2 plants, only a few dozen deaths, if even that many, can be attributed to these incidents. This proves that even the worst possible scenarios involving nuclear reactors yield only minimal public health risk, if precautions are taken. In fact, you are statistically more likely to be struck by lightning than you are to die as a result of a nuclear meltdown. There have also been concerns that terrorists could attack a nuclear power plant, causing a massive thermonuclear reaction. I want to assure you that there is absolutely no way a nuclear reactor could detonate. Commercial uranium is not nearly enriched enough to detonate, and even if it were, a nuclear detonation requires precise environments and immensely complex equipment that is not found within a power plant. Nuclear energy is no more dangerous than any other form of energy. Now, Not only is nuclear energy safer and cleaner, it is vastly more efficient. As mentioned earlier, a reactor can run up to 2 years off a single sample of uranium. Fossil fuel generators, on the other hand, must be constantly checked and refueled. According to EPA statistics, 80% of the cost of running a fossil fuel generator is simply the cost of obtaining fuel for it. The cost of fuel for a nuclear reactor, however, comprises only 24% of the total expense. Replacing current fossil fuel power plants with nuclear ones would dramatically reduce the cost of fuel, which would, in turn, lead to less expensive energy. On top of that, nuclear power plants are also more efficient in actually converting the fuel into energy. A nuclear power plant produces energy at a cost of less than 2 cents per kilowatt hour. This is far superior to the 18 cents per kilowatt hour of oil and the 6 cents for natural gas. This lower cost of production, coupled with the lower cost of fuel, would lower the cost of energy even further. Next slide. Whoops. My apologies. There we go. The electrical needs of America are growing faster than ever before. The U.S. Department of Energy predicts that the national energy demand will rise by more than 24% by the year 2035. As we increase production to satisfy these new requirements, it is important that we begin to search for alternatives to fossil fuels. Nuclear energy is one such alternative, and it is clean, safe, and efficient. So as the cost of energy continues to rise, I hope you'll remember what I've said here today and what nuclear energy could do for you.